Hey guys, Coach Ryan here on this episode of DuPraw Powerskating, brought to you by my friends at XbotGo. We're going to be talking about what you do when you don't have a cameraman or you don't really want to be stuck behind the camera for the whole game or whatever your child's event is. We're going to be doing the review of the XbotGo AI Cameraman coming up. So if you found yourself in a situation where you're at somebody's event, maybe one of your child's events or some other type of event, sporting event, you name it, and you're the one that's supposed to video the whole thing. But the problem is, if you've ever noticed, it's kind of disconnected. When you're filming, you're not really a part of the action anymore. So if you're like me, and you're at an event, let's say it's one of your child's events or it's a sporting event, trying to film a player, you name it. There's a lot of different scenarios. Number one, you're not really present. So when you're filming, you're kind of back out of the action. If it's like a holiday or one of my kids' sporting events, you realize that you're filming those things and you don't really get to see it. You know, every once in a while, once in a blue moon, usually when the family's off on a special occasion, we'll dig up these old videos and we'll watch them. But we're not watching it all the time, and a lot of times it's years later. So you've kind of missed out on that event because you're not present when you're filming. You're either trying to film better than your spouse. Don't tell her I said that. Maybe she's got a real shaky hand. Maybe they have a very shaky hand. Maybe it's him, right? Maybe it's your husband. Maybe it's like my dad used to do. And then a very exciting part of the game, the camera would just be filming the ground and you wouldn't even see me. You'd hear him yelling and screaming, but it was just the stands, or it was the grass, or it was the ice and the boards. And it's like, Dad, what are you filming? That was my highlight of the year, man, and we missed it. But if you're a parent, you want to be present. You want to be a part of that. You don't want to be stuck behind a camera. And if you want to do a good job, you really do have to concentrate on filming and making sure everything is centered, making sure it's all, you know, the aspect ratio, the coloring, the lighting is good, and you're not shaking. You're not all over the place. So what do you do? Or maybe you're like me, you're filming a lot, but you're also moving around, teaching a different drill, different exercise, on ice, off ice, and it needs to move. Well, you have to have an AI cameraman. So XbotGo, they came up with their gimbal, and I've seen gimbals like this similar before, but the software package is totally different, right? So with the AI in it, it can follow you and it can do a lot of other things, and we're going to get into it right now. So the first thing is the gimbal, and as you can see, you've got the hand controls on the gimbal for centering, zooming, changing the aspect ratio, flipping it from vertical to horizontal, and you also get a remote control. But the other thing I like, they also sent me their XbotGo tripod, which is actually pretty heavy and dense. It looks pretty small. It's great because it's mobile, right? It's compact. You can take it with you. But this sucker's pretty heavy. You know, it weighs a couple, 2-3 pounds, and I didn't realize. I thought it was just a little tabletop kind of tripod. This bad boy extends. It's not too shabby. It's about yay high. So the gimbal goes up on top of there. Screw that down. And then I'm going to get out of the picture here in a second, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you actually hook your cell phone into it, and then we're going to go in and try to show you some of the software and how that works. Okay, so I've got my phone here, and I tried it a couple times, and I can tell with the holder, it's really preferable for you not to have your case on. If you've got like a OtterBox or a pretty decent case on your phone that doesn't come off easy, that's not really how I want to operate, taking my case on and off my phone. So I'm just going to try to install this, and it actually tells you on here which way you need to have the camera facing on your phone. And I'm also trying to be aware, because it's got this kind of loaded, spring-loaded holder on here. I'm trying to make sure that it's not pressing the buttons on my phone. And then the other thing, you don't have to have it perfect, but you can't have 75% of the phone offset. You kind of need to be closer to center, like I said, although it doesn't have to be perfect because the gimbal has a stabilizer in it and it will help you stabilize. So then we got to turn this bad boy on, power it up. And there's the vertical position. And then, like I said, there's also, open the box back up. Great, it's child-proof. There we go. So we'll open this back up. There's a remote control. Of course, you've got your manual. You can go through that bad boy. You got your quick start instructions for people with microscopic attention spans like me. You've got your remote, so you can actually be away from the camera, recording yourself, or like I said, once again, recording the event and being present, being part of the event, and not having to sit behind the camera. And then you also can screw the gimbal into, this is your tabletop version. While tripod screws into the bottom there, disco, and then you're set up on a desk or whatnot, whatever you use. Okay, so first things first, I want to change the orientation of the camera. So we will go here. There you go. East and west. One click. Should send it back to north and south. Got that? Okay. Not too shabby. And then we've got your zoom functions over here, because once you have your phone connected to the gimbal and you've installed the app, the two communicate with each other. And we'll go in and show you how that works next. Okay, so here we are on my phone, and I want to find the XbotGo app. Okay, so here we are on my phone. I've got the app all fired up. Let me manually adjust this on the gimbal so you can see it easier. There we go, and we'll bring it just a hair closer for you. Good deal. All right, so you can see on here where it says add remote. I have not done that yet. And then this is all of your functions for your gimbal to connect. And when everything is all set up, you want to make sure Bluetooth is on, which mine is. And then this is the activation button. So you hit that bad boy. That'll start putting you into recording mode. And then if we zoom in here at the recording modes, tip this down so you can see better. They have all kinds of different sports, and I'm guessing that that also changes the speed of your camera. You can see good old hockey is right here. So let's just punch hockey. They've got soccer, you've got racket sports, you've got basketball, football, good old Bobby Boucher, and I'm sure if there's something different, you just kind of get as close as you can to it. Make sure you select that. option, and I tinker around with it. Then you just click next. Start recording. And right now, obviously, it's telling me that I am in unlocked mode and I want to go into lock mode. So lock mode is where it's actually going to lock on to me, apparently, and follow me around wherever I go. So I'm going to pop this back into, because it's showing horizontal directions, we're going to throw this back into horizontal. I want to make sure you can see. Okay, so double tap sends it straight back into recentering and brings it back. I've got the controls facing me here. So we will reposition, which I believe is single tap. I got to remember all the code. There you go. I'd probably just have the manual open till you get used to it. All right, so horizontal mode, and then it's saying, do you want to lock onto the target or do you want to unlock the target? Do you want it to follow a specific person? Yeah, let's give that a go. So we're going to lock, tap there, all set. And you probably can't see the fine print. It says you have to tap the person in the frame to lock it on. So because I'm not in the frame, I'm going to skip this because I don't have somebody to lock on. And then you also have manual, and then you also have visual controls. So apparently if I get into the scene real quick, which I'm going to hop in and wave at the camera, it should lock onto me and use the follow mode. So we're going to give that a go and see if it works. Alright, so I'm in the frame now. Hey, how's it going? Hopefully it just locked onto me, and now we'll see if the follow works. It absolutely does. And remember, I'm moving kind of slower right now, so depending on the activity, you want to change that to match the speed. Sorry about the glare there. Now, I wonder what would happen if you had a taller individual. Say, most people that are taller than me. It actually does pan and tilt. And then what if you had a little bit shorter than me? Danny DeVito, Jersey Mike's. Yeah, it works. Brilliant. Well, there you go. So also what I notice is every once in a while, if you move too fast, too shifty, kind of twitchy, as I say, as I talk to my players about getting twitchy out on the ice, it can lose you, and you have to recalibrate it by raising your hand, waving at the camera, and then it'll lock on you again. So where I'm very interested is, say in gameplay, when you lock on to somebody, if it'll stay locked on to your player throughout the game, or if it's just going to follow the masses. And that's my next test with this, is can it distinguish between the person that started it and you have multiple people, or is it just going to follow the crowd? So for the most part, what the company says it does, it actually does. It recorded clear video. It actually followed me around. Not only did it pan, but it also tilted up and down, and you can run this vertical or horizontal depending on what you're shooting. If you're a YouTube creator, sensational. It'd be fantastic. I'd probably take it off the tripod if I'm just a head and shoulders type creator talking to the camera. Put it on the little desk mount on the tabletop version and have that record me. If you're moving around slightly more, I'd probably put it on a tripod. Think of like yoga instructor, somebody that's moving with slow movements, but they're not covering a lot of distance. And then it's going to be interesting is taking this bad boy out on the ice the next time I run one of my clinics and seeing how it does capturing video and seeing if it can lock onto me and stay with me during the instruction on the drill and working with players. And when I make that video, I'll drop that on my channel too, so keep your eyes open for that. But Overall, like I said, I'm actually really happy with this. I have to add some more videos to the breakaway blueprint. If you're stuck in the mud and you feel like your speed has plateaued and you've even got some help, possibly some private lessons, and that hasn't really unlocked you, check out the breakaway blueprint version 3.0. It's designed for players. I've got players across the country and other countries that can't get to me, and we get to work together and help them increase their speed for the great game of hockey. Now, if you are interested more in the XbotGo AI Cameraman, check the description and the links down below. It'll take you right there, and you can get set up with one of these bad boys. But once again, thanks to XbotGo for sponsoring this video, and I hope you have a great hockey season. The month of October is right around the corner. It's coming up soon. Skate hard, skate fast, and we'll see you next time.